Greetings, everyone, and welcome to Plaid Stallion's Toy Ventures. My name is Brian, and as you may have already guessed, I'm doing the Bash. Specifically, the Monster Bash in Cranberry, Pennsylvania last weekend, and it was a graveyard smash. I've been wanting to return to the Monster Bash for some time, but I missed a couple just because my schedule wouldn't permit it. However, I did get there for this Halloween season, mainly because we had the Lincoln Monsters debuting that month as well, and I couldn't think of a more perfect location to launch the Lincoln Monsters than this wonderful convention. So technically I was there for work, but it doesn't really feel like work at all. It was just total play. I brought along my friend Sam from Toronto, and we tabled next to my good friend Corey. So if this is work, it's a dream job. The show itself, as I've reported before, has this wonderful chill vibe that just permeates the whole thing, and it is a monster kid's delight, filled with posters, movies, toys, models, homemade goods, shirts. It's just unbelievable. You could lose your entire wallet in there. It also had some fantastic guests, most of them related to Hammer Films, including Carolyn Monroe, Martine Beswick, Victoria Vetri, and Pauline Pert. So let me take you on a tour of some of the things that were available at the Monster Bash. Then we'll go through what I picked up, some anecdotes from the show, and of course, the regrets. Hang tight, here comes Monster Bash 2024. ended up picking up a lot of movies at Monster Bash, and I kind of worried for a while that was the only thing I was going to take home. However, as I continued to wander through the building, I did start to notice some very shiny things. I had to grab this Fun World Abraham Lincoln figure. It was on my friend Corey's table, and it took him to point out that Lincoln should be with the Lincoln Monsters, and that's what we did. I thought that was pretty funny. Also, he doubles as a Star Trek character. I always love to look through the movie posters, even though I have zero wall space. But it's always nice to see fellow Torontonian Mike from Hollywood Canteen set up here, and he brings some truly remarkable items. And that's when I ran into this, a press kit for Night of the Howling Beast, aka The Werewolf and the Yeti. This is a Paul Naschy film, and if you know this channel and myself, you know that I am a huge fan. He is royalty to me. So when I noticed Paul Naschy's signature on it, I just straight up purchased it without thinking. Naschy has sadly passed away. I will never get to meet Paul Naschy and thank him, but I do have this lovely reminder of him now in my hallway. Also from Mike, I picked up this weird press kit for a movie called Wild in the Streets. It's one of my favorite films from the 1960s. I guess you'd label it sort of a rock and roll political fantasy. In a nutshell, a rock star becomes president, and I don't want to spoil it, but it gets weird. What's really interesting to me on this was I was just drawn to the logo and the artwork, but the inside describes a completely different movie. And this was indicative of AIP. They would create the poster, sell the movie, and then write the script. So yeah, this is about three girls on a tear. That has nothing to do with the eventual film that came out. I love the art on this, and that's basically why I picked it up. So just before I left, I had a conversation with a fellow dealer by the name of John, and John knows his stuff. He's a toy historian for sure. And he showed me a couple things from his personal collection that blew my mind, like this Mego King Kong that apparently was only available in Japan through a mayonnaise promotion. It amazes me that I'm still learning stuff about Mego 30, 40 years later that I did not know, and it was just a total trip to see this toy. And what was awesome was the conversation then led to John having a spare Bullmark King Kong from the 76 film. These were only sold in Japan. They are labeled Mego, but they were sold by Bullmark, who distributed a lot of simians from Mego, of all things. He is a wonderful 6-inch vinyl figure, and if you look at the bottom, he comes with a little car, a toy car you can put in his hand. I am so smitten with this. I have been staring at these for years. I'm really grateful John offered it to me, because it really is it is the perfect memento of this great show and weekend. And every time I see it, I will think of it, and that's great. This is a happy memory and a cool toy. As for regrets, I don't have a whole heck of a lot for this show. My number one would be that I didn't get Carolyn Monroe's autograph. I've had a couple of awkward exchanges with celebrities, so I often have to kind of amp up to doing that, and I just never got around to it. My friend Corey got this amazing 70s children's Star Crash t-shirt signed by her. It was an auction I shared in 5 Awesome Things on eBay, and I kind of regretted doing that too, because I was kind of a little jealous staring at it. The other regret I have is not picking up this amazing sticker book that was on Corey's table. It was from Spain. It was not all horror related. In fact, there was characters like Tarzan and Kwai Chang Caine from Kung Fu in there. It was just the most imaginative layouts I've seen in a long time. Even though I really didn't have a purpose for it, I felt like it could have been a wonderful source of inspiration down the line for design work. So this is probably my favorite Monster Bash I've been to, and that's largely because of my friend Sam coming along. Not only did he make the drive go much faster, but I got to reappreciate it through his experience. He is a convention veteran, so he really embraced the energy and spirit of Monster Bash, and he got me more immersed into it. We ended up going to panels, including seeing Martine Beswick and Carolyn Monroe singing, which was just unbelievable. There were movie screenings where they were bringing in food, and at one point, the Monster Bash even has a celebration where they just bring in cake. It's a real family. And as somebody who's run a convention or two, I really admire and respect what they have, and I'm grateful to be a part of it. It was just absolutely charming and wonderful, and there was no cynicism. It was just this wonderful bubble where if you sat down and put your ear to the ground, all you'd hear is people talking about stuff they love. There's no actual monsters at Monster Bash, just really kind folks, and I truly appreciate it. Before I go, I'd like to know what you would pick up from Monster Bash that you saw in the video. Let me know one item that would have gone home with you. You can let me know in the comments below or in our Facebook group, Pod Stallions. Thanks everybody for watching, especially if you did at the end. If you're new to this, please consider hitting like and subscribe, and I'll be back with a new video next week. Until then, be well, stay positive, and talk toys, not other people. Cheers.